Morning. Oh my goodness. There's so many people here today. Yay, I love Manifest Mondays. I'm going to make somebody else a co-host to help me let people in. I'm going to make Anne a co-host. Oh, wait. Am I not co-host? Wait, hold on a second. I'm not. I need to steal back my. I need to be a host first. Okay. Now I can make other people host. Welcome. Like I said, good morning to each and every one of you. You are now co-host. Okay, cool. Beautiful, beautiful Monday. Let's go ahead and bring it in with some intentions for the world. May all sentient beings, let's visualize all sentient beings. May all sentient beings have happiness and the cause of happiness. Really seeing and believing in every living being, every sentient being in the state of complete happiness. Having all that they need, all that they desire. And actually everything that truly makes one happy. That selflessness. May they be free from suffering. All living sentient beings, above and below water. Two-leggeds, four-leggeds, eight-leggeds, and more. May they never be separated from the bliss that is sorrowless. May they abide in equanimity, free from attachment and aversion. The four great wishes. May it be so. Namaste. Love all of you. Thank you for being here. Wow, there's 17 of us. Awesome. Who has manifested something really amazing in their life and they're like, oh my God, I just manifested that? Oh, good. I'm glad to see some hands raised. Pretty sure every single one of us, we might not be able to remember all the time, you know? But one of the things that I manifested yesterday, it was so funny. It was so cute. Somebody I was with recently was wearing this white sweatshirt, a white hoodie with a heart right here. And I said, wow, I love that sweatshirt. And she goes, oh, and she looked and she's like, it's on the back too. And on the back was a giant heart. It was a white hoodie with a heart right here and a big heart on the back. I cannot for the life of me remember who was wearing that sweatshirt. I even wonder if it was in a dream. Like, did I actually meet that person? Were they in a dream? Was it somebody on this call? Like, I can't remember. If you were the person wearing that sweatshirt, just drop me a 1 or say something in the chat, because I'm like, who was wearing that sweatshirt? So I'm like sitting there with this person, they're wearing the sweatshirt. I'm like, and I thought in my mind, oh my God, I need to have that sweatshirt. Where did they get that sweatshirt? And I feel like I may have even said something, but I didn't want to come off too strong. So I was like, oh, that's a cool sweatshirt. I love that sweatshirt. And in my mind, I'm like, I wonder where she got it. I'd love to have that sweatshirt. So yesterday, Tony and I are tromping around San Francisco on a Sunday, having a delightful Sunday morning. And we're just having a really good time. We're in a really high vibration. We're like, the city's bustling. There's like all these farmers markets. And there's also like a little festival happening on 9th and Judah. And there's just like stuff happening in the park. There's traffic, there's people. It's just like loaded with fun. Like people are having a really good day. There's like a band playing, some band that's like, that reminded me of like, you know, Ramones or something. They're just some like cool rock band playing, just like having super fun, like right there in the middle of the street. The street's all shut off. And I look up and I look into this window and there's like this colorful window. It reminded me of Felicia, this colorful window of like rainbows and like all these different kinds of clothing, all colorful and everything. And then right there in the middle of the window is a mannequin wearing the sweatshirt. There's like a white hoodie and a heart, and it's the back and it's a big heart. And I'm like, no way, it's that sweatshirt. I manifested the sweatshirt. I was like, holy cow. And I looked at Tony. I was like, oh my God, you have no idea the story behind this, but we have to go in and look at this sweatshirt. I didn't buy it, but I totally enjoyed the manifestation and the synchronicity that I said that, and that how quickly that manifestation happened within a couple of days. Totally in another city. Like I saw the sweatshirt in Sebastopol and I saw it in San Francisco. So I want you guys just to like live in that magic and just like recall a moment when you had some kind of synchronicity, some kind of manifestation in your life, and like what state of mind you were in. Was it a moment where you were like already in a good mood, or was it something that helped lift your mood or reminded you you're on the right path? If you can remember a time, I used to have that sweatshirt with a heart on front. Oh my God, oh my God. Are you going by Gayla or by Linda? I've seen you as Linda on the screen, but that is so awesome. I'm like, that is another synchronicity right there. The fact that Gayla actually had the same sweatshirt and she actually knows the sweatshirt I'm talking about. Like, how funny is that? Even more amazing. So yes, when have you had these synchronicities in your life leading you, reminding you, like affirming your life for you? So let's live in the magic of what's possible. And I want you to think about what you'd like to manifest. Something you would really love to manifest in your life. Something you'd love to create. And if you have a paper, you can write it down. Give it some more energy by writing it down. What is something really special or meaningful to you that would really make a difference in your life? Or something fun. Maybe you're like, oh, I'm going to manifest finding $1 or $5 coming to me, or a bouquet of flowers, or something you want to have like come to you. In the laws of manifestation, there are 3 components. Conceiving of the ideas first. Conceive. You have to be able to conceive of it. Right? This is why we write down our ranks at the beginning of the month that we want to create. We want to conceive of it first. And then we want to believe that it's possible. Just think like, hey, I'm a child of God. Why wouldn't this be possible for me? Right? And in the world of quantum physics, if you really look at our bodies, it's all energy. It looks so dense and solid, but actually you're just looking at a screen that's a bunch of molecules and stuff that's got protons and atoms flying around. You're not even looking at a dense object. You're not even looking at me. You're looking at some kind of representation of me that's not even dense. Right? It's light. You're actually literally looking at light. And then here on my end, I look at my hands, they feel so dense, but actually they're made of energy if I look really closely. And in quantum physics, in that little atom, in that smallest component, there's infinite potential. That same atom could be an atom from a cereal or from the star. It is from the star. It could be the same atom in a plant. We can manifest anything. We can like literally create our realities. So conceiving is one, believing is the second one. But what's the third one? Gotta have all 3.
Receiving.
Receive.
Oh, good job. Yes, I saw Nurika raise your hand and then Tyne spit it out. Yes, receiving. And often this is the one thing that is not on, is the receiver. We can believe, we can conceive, I want to own land and this is blah, 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 and I'm going to believe. And then an opportunity comes our way and we don't even see it. Right? Like I think about when I manifested this business, I was like, this was where I was at. I was at the point of desperation. My health was complete shit, to be completely frank. It was complete shit. I had been sick for 9 years. I was at the verge of like, I cannot work anymore. I'm going to be homeless. I don't even have any energy or motivation to work. I'm just going to live in my car. But something in me started to conceive that I could get well. I can get well. I was able to conceive of the idea. People with cancer get well. There are people with cancer who recover. Why can't I? I'm sure there's a way to recover. I just need to find the way. So then I knew I could conceive in the idea of recovering, of getting healthy. Another thing I said was, there's this thing, everyone talks about residual income. Like, what would I have to do? And I conceived of the idea of residual income at the same time, because I was like desperately, poor at that moment. And I was like, maybe there's something I can't think of, but I definitely thought, well, I started going down the hole of like, oh, okay, well, I could be a musician. Musicians make royalties, but I don't even have the energy to be a musician. They don't even make it. And actors, same thing. Oh, it just seems so impossible. And I thought, well, I could buy a house, but I don't have no money to buy a house, but money, houses make residual income, they grow over time, could like own something. But at that time, I couldn't really conceive of how that would happen. And then I finally told myself, there is a way, but I just don't know what it is. So I could conceive of healing and I could conceive of money coming in. I just didn't know how. But I allowed myself to believe that there was a way. I conceived that there was that healing was possible and financial abundance was possible. I was able to conceive that these were possible. And I began to feel something open up inside me, like something in my heart was like, this is possible. This is possible. This is possible. Just knowing that it was possible was me conceiving of the idea. Just knowing it was possible. And I began to believe. And I said, you know what? I'm going to find the way. I might find a shaman. I'm going to journey across mountains and I'm going to go on a retreat and a vision quest. And I'm going to go to ayahuasca ceremonies. I'm going to go to Peru. And I don't know, I just thought, started thinking, I will do whatever it takes. Now, I never did those things, but I believed that there was a way and I was willing to find it. So I conceived of the idea and I began to finally believe. I finally began to believe. So first I conceived healing is possible. Wealth is possible. I have no fucking clue how I'm gonna get there, but it's possible. And then I believed it was. I started really, truly believing in it. Wow, this is totally possible. And I got excited. Like, I know it's possible. I just had to know that it was possible for me. Why not? Just the fact knowing that it was possible was all I needed. I didn't even need to know whether it was for me or anyone, just that it's possible. So I began to believe. Now, the third one. Then my upline, Sarah Rhinelander tagged me in some posts by accident because I got out of my way. I said, I don't know the way. I have no idea how. I have no idea, but I'm going to get out of the way. I'm open to anything. Just show me. Just show me. Just show me. Just let me just be open to the way. I got tagged in a post. This woman's feeling great on social media. She's like, oh, I just had this cleanse and detox and I have a $50 gift card. And I said, now, was I in receiving mode? The third one, receive, third law of manifestation. Yes. Yes. Give me that gift card. Now, I had no money, you guys. I had $0. I had no money. I was barely paying rent. I was moving into my car. But I had to figure out I knew the value right there. And my receiver was on. I was like, I know the value of what this is. And I'm going to freaking do this. And they got me on a call. She got me on a connect call with Nelle, her upline. And I was like, okay. And I said, does this happen to be a business too? Is this a business model? Do you guys make money? Is this a sale? Are you going to make any money off me? I have no idea what went through Sarah's mind, but I'm sure she felt like a deer in headlights. Oh my God, she just asked me if this is network marketing. He says, is this network marketing? I actually said, is this network marketing? Can I make money doing this? Are you guys making money? I said, are you making money doing this? And she's like, Yeah. And I said, how much money are you going to make on this sale? And she told me, and I was like, and I'm sure she was probably pooping bricks. I'm sure she was like shitting bricks at that moment. Like, oh my God, she asked me if it was network marketing, asking if I'm making money off her. Oh God. And I was like, wow. I was like, you know what? I need something like this. I just saw it. I said, I just saw how easy it was for you to sell this to me. You posted on Facebook. I asked you for the gift card. And now I'm here on a phone call with you and I'm ready to buy the product. I said, that was so freaking easy. I was like, this is something I can do. And everyone wants something organic and everyone wants to heal and everyone needs a cleanse and everyone needs a detox. My receiver was wide on. I saw the opportunity and I said, tell me more. And she said, well, I said, I had seen people in doTERRA making money, but I couldn't understand how to make money with doTERRA. It was like, I don't know. I didn't, in my mind, I'm like, people don't buy essential oils. I don't even buy essential oils. I was like, I can't make money doing that. But this seems so clear. Like, this is food. People eat food. I eat food. Everyone wants to detox. Everyone wants to cleanse, right? And so because I saw how I came in, and the truth is, I didn't have the money. I borrowed the money from one of my best friends. I called up my best friend and I said, this is so good. This seems so amazing. I feel like it might help me. This woman's feeling great. I really want to do this. It's a way for me to make money. Could you help me? Can you loan me this much money? And he said yes. So I was in debt. I started off with like only $250 debt to create a business that ended up creating a multiple six-figure income for myself. Like, who buys a business for that? I was like, this is an incredible deal. I made my money back in the first 2 weeks and was able to pay him back within 2 weeks. My conceiver, I conceived of the idea, I can get well. There is a way to make residual income. I told myself, I said, there's got to be a way to make residual income that I can't even think of, doesn't require me having a $60,000 deposit for a house, that doesn't require me to become a singer and try to figure out how to become a rock star at, age 30, 40, that doesn't require me to try to like become an actor when I can't even like stand up straight. And this was it. So my receiver was on. I saw that moment and I grasped it. How many people do you go to? They're like looking for help. They're struggling. Like, oh my God, like I'm totally struggling. And for they're like wanting something so bad. And they like, they seem to believe and they're like into the concept and they're like, they want to talk to you, but then they don't receive. And then you watch them struggle for another year or two in their health and in their finances, and they're just like not turning on the receiver. How often do we see that in this business? Right? So get out of your way. And I want you to start just believing, hey, anything's possible. Let go of your resistance. Let go of your doubt and your fear. Let go of the ego. Let yourself let yourself receive. Because I know you guys are here because you believe and you conceive. That's why you guys show up here. The areas of life that get in the way of our business are our sufferings, the things that cause us to suffer in other areas of our life, our relationships, our fears, our distresses, conflicts that arise in the world problems. These things can like get us down and bring our energy down and our frequency down. And then we're like having a hard time believing and receiving. This is why personal work is so important in this business, to be doing the emotional work, to doing the personal work, to be doing the therapy, the 12-step, whatever you need to do, right? Landmark, this has like been my primary focus for like most of my life is personal development, trying to just get that stuff under control so that I can breathe and like actually enjoy my business, so that I'm not like constantly struggling in my business. All right. Curious your thoughts. Anyone have any thoughts or inspirations or anything? Yes, trapped in the past. Exactly. We get trapped in the past, and then our past becomes our future because we're living into our past instead of living into the possibility of what's actually possible. And so that's why we do the work, you know, the shadow work, the inner parenting and all that stuff to like free ourselves. So that way we're receiving the coaching, right? Then when we like have an idea for, you know, going public or talking to a person, we're not like hung up and we're not projecting onto that reality. We're like, oh, okay, like let's just see this conversation clearly. This is where the 4 agreements comes really important. The 4 agreements. Who's read the 4 agreements? Drop me a 1 if you've read the 4 agreements. Yes, a lot of you have read the, woohoo! Look at all these 4 agreements. Awesome. What are the 4 agreements? Anyone feel like sharing? Grace, I see your hand up. I didn't know if that was is that something you wanted to share, or was that you responding to, I've read it.
I want to share, but it doesn't need to be right this moment.
Oh, I'd love to have you share.
Okay, awesome. Well, first of all, thank you. This is like the perfect Zoom for me to get on. I have the little one, as I often do, and I wasn't sure if I was going to do it. And then, but I just want to say I recently reached a similar point to what Rachel's talking about in terms of just like giving it up and just being like, okay, like this is going to happen. You know, I am going to be a person who gets to steward wealth. That is going to happen. And part of what made me wake up about it was, I don't even think I've said this to you, Rachel, but we were having a conversation about something and I heard myself saying again, like that I didn't have money for something. And Rachel and I have been friends for a very long time. And in that moment, hearing myself say it, I was like, man, this has been my story for a really long time. And, you know, and Rachel knows that. And I was just thinking about like how many times I've said that I couldn't do a thing that I really wanted to do or that would move the needle forward in my life because I don't have money. And I just decided in that moment, I was like, I'm done. I am a brilliant person. I have a lot to bring to the world. And there are people, not to do the comparison thing, but sometimes I think it's important to speak this. There are people who are way less talented than me, way less like committed, you know, in different ways, who are like friggin' billionaires, you know? And it's okay for me to, not only is it okay for me to have money, it's imperative for me to have money, you know, the people who will actually do amazing things with it. And this kind of formula that Rachel's talking about is how I basically brought my daughter onto the planet. I created a whole 10-step coaching program, basically drawing in the laws of manifestation. And one of the ways that I know that my whole scenario is about to change is because this is exactly how I felt when right before I got pregnant. I was on a trip and I was listening to, it was my daughter's dad's, before we were pregnant, his sister-in-law. And we were sitting at a table and she was telling us that she got pregnant. And I was just like, dang it. Like, what? Like, it is my turn. I am not going to hear one more person. I just like pulsed it out. I will not listen to one more person tell me that they are pregnant. The next time those words come out of somebody's mouth and I'm hearing them, it's going to be me. Like, I felt it inside. And that is how I feel right now about finances. And it works. Like, I just took these principles, I put them into a coaching program for my midwifery school graduation project, and I self-applied them. And 1 month later to the date, my daughter was conceived. And, you know, it starts with a decision. And sometimes we have to just hit that place inside of ourselves that is just so tired of running that old story, you know, like usually doesn't even come from us. that poverty story is so deep in my family line, like crazy deep. So it was just so funny because I was having this moment of like, oh, should I get on the call? Like, I'm really just supposed to be hanging with the kiddo. And I just felt it so strong. And then I opened it up, and Rachel was just basically saying the thing that I've been feeling and thinking and implementing. So thank you. I love the synergy of it. And I love who you are as a leader. And you really have dedicated your life to doing your own self-work. And it really is showing,
Aw.
every time I hop on, you're just like, you're like giving beautiful nuggets and gems and just helping so many people. So thank you. I appreciate you.
Oh my God, I love you so much. Thank you so much. That just completely filled my heart. I got chills hearing that story and feeling like you're right on that precipice again, that you feel that energy, you just know it.
I'm so there, honestly.
That is so awesome.
Yep.
Yeah, I had I'm just gonna be really transparent, and had another moment last night where I shared this with the team recently, that my partner had relapsed and we'd had a struggle, and now he's got almost a year sober, and he's totally working his program, and it's taken me a while to open my heart. And last night I just had like a big cry with him about it, and he just held me while I was like in this deep cry, because I just didn't know if I was gonna be able to like fall back into that trust and love with him again that I had before. We were engaged. I'm like, just like, am I gonna do that? And like, I felt that, and I was just like crying last night with like joy and relief, and just my grief lifted, and it was just such a beautiful moment. And so don't quit till the miracle happens. Like, just know in your being that all of you are in such good hands right here in this group, in this team, with these people and this energy, and that you totally have it. You totally have what it takes, every single one of you. And then it's just every single stage in this business of moving forward is all about a personal breakthrough. Every single time I've ranked up has been a new personal breakthrough. Literally. One of Grace and my friends, we had a friend who was literally like director, I think, for 3 years. And then suddenly she had a breakthrough in her mind, and then hit executive, and then finally hit diamond. And like, if she hadn't stuck for 3 years just being on these calls until she had that breakthrough, and then finally was like, oh, I get it. Like, something shifted, some block I had, like I totally wasn't doing or thinking this certain thing. And then she just had this radical breakthrough and just like finally started moving up through the ranks. So I just want to say, like, no matter where you are, if you're like seeing other people move ahead of you, whatever, it's really easy to get into comparison and just be like, oh, what's going on? Like, why can't I do that? Or whatever. It's just that everyone has their own kind of like blocks and their timing, and people get blocked around different things. People have blocked. When I joined, there was some, I'm not going to say names, but there were some crowns who were at like, I had one well-known person who was at Red Diamond when I joined the company. I shot all the way up to Red Diamond and passed them and went to 2-star crown. And I was so surprised that I did that. I had another friend who was Black Diamond when I joined, and I went all the way past Black Diamond and hit 2-star crown. Well, then that person who's a Red Diamond went past me and hit 5-star crown. Okay. So you just don't know when your time is, and you just have to trust, and you just know that like everyone's pace and journey is different, but you all have the complete and same potential to get there and your own time with your own personal breakthroughs. Okay. All right. Any other thoughts? Because I am going to go into some like really, really good nuggets about onboarding, because I think it's really important to kind of just like get some super clarity. So any other shares before I jump forward? Or you can share in the chat. Let's check out the chat real quick. I've been at director for a full year, and I feel like a big breakthrough coming to, Grace. Yay! Don't quit before the miracle happens. I love that you quoted me, Rachel B, but I'll say that that quote comes from 12-step. That is like a super mega 12-step quote. And I don't even know where it originated, but yes, don't quit before the miracle happens. Don't quit before the miracle happens. So, all right, let's go into, let me give you guys some nuggets about onboarding. Okay, so we've got all these new people. This team has been expanding like crazy. It's been going really fast. We've got all these new fast start directors, executives, consultants, like this team is booming right now. And I'm feeling that energy is also lifting everybody. So those of you who are booming, thank you for lifting up the team and being examples and showing it's possible, okay? Just know that your light is like also just like helping other people realize what's possible, and you got this, okay? So about onboarding, this applies even if you're like relaunching your business, because some people here are coming in and they're relaunching their business. And I just want you to know, here, for myself, let me make sure that I am, for the recording, pinned. All right. So those of you who are relaunching or not, it's really important that you get this concept that onboarding is super, super important. Because we have all these fast start bonuses, it's really important that onboarding happens within 24 to 48 hours of a person ordering their products. 24 to 48 hours. Because if we miss that window, we miss them getting them to the Fast Start consultant. I pretty much make a promise to my team. You're going to get to Fast Start consultant. We are going to shadow you and work with you every single day until you get to Fast Start consultant. And those of you who are new, I want you to know that you get to have your upline do it. Okay. It's really important that we all know we work in the power of threes. The power of three is imperative to this business and duplication. You've always got to work on a three-way call, right? I want you to be bringing your downline to your upline for training. Bring your downline to your upline for training. That might be me. Maybe you have a diamond above you, but you're bringing your downline to your upline for training, because that's how you get trained and how to get a person to Fast Start consultant, director, and executive. Okay. That's how you get trained, is by bringing your person to the upline. Every training call happens in a connect call. A connect calls are our trainings. So even people who are, until my upline retired, I was basically bringing her connect calls for years. I didn't do them myself. And part of the reason is because it's important, even with my customers, my prospects, I always brought my prospects to my upline, because it's important when they come in to see, oh, I don't have to be the one who knows all the information. There's somebody else who's going to give them all that information. I don't have to know that. It's really important for new people to see, if they're going to imagine themselves coming into the business, I don't need to know everything. How many people get caught up and don't start because they're like, I don't know anything. I don't know enough about the products. I don't know anything yet. They feel like they have to know everything in order to do the business. And that's a burden for some people, for a lot of people, for most people. There's also a lot of reds on this team, all right? People who are like, I can do it all. I'm independent. I know how to sell. I don't need any help. I don't need anyone to like close the sale. I'm good. I got this. And maybe these people go off and they enroll like 100 people in a row. That's great. But that doesn't mean that your expertise is going to duplicate and then your downline is going to be able to do the same. Your downline very likely is not going to be able to do the same as you. That's why we bring our downline to our upline, so that we create systems, the system of training, and everyone's following the same system. If you create your own system, you're going to shoot yourself in the foot. If you create your own system, it's not going to be what the company's saying, and then you won't be in alignment with the company. You won't be in alignment, and then when your downline gets onto training calls, they're going to be getting different messages, and then it's confusing. You want them to learn the system, and so you got to learn the system first. All right. So onboarding happens within the first 24 to 48 hours. And I want people to get really comfortable that when you are prospecting, you're always sending screenshots of every conversation to your whole upline, so that everyone can think tank together to make sure that you have your messaging correct, aligned, and within the system that works. When somebody has a lot of interest and they're not enrolling people, I know that there's a crack in the funnel and the way they're communicating. I'm like, that just means there's a communication issue. I got to get in there and see what's the communicating. How are you talking to that person? What's the communication? Show me a screenshot. I'll tell you what to say next. I'll tell you what to send next. I had the opportunity to be prospected by one of the top earners in network marketing who earns $17 million a year. He flew out here to meet me. And then out of my curiosity to see how he did business, I let him wine and dine me with his wife. They flew me to their house, to its home in San Diego, and they had a huge villa. I had my own villa in San Diego. I went to their house, rode around in their fancy Tesla, did all the things. When they took me on a hot air balloon ride, they let me meet all the top earners of their team. We hung out and had dinner. I mean, it was like, I'd never experienced anything like this before. I got wined and dined by like one of the top network marketers in the world. In fact, their company's in like the Netherlands or something. What was my point? My point is that when I was watching him teach and he was like really, I wasn't going to join them, even though I was like letting myself be wine and dined out of curiosity. When I saw how he works with his downline, that's what he does. He tells you, what do they say? Here's what you say next. Here's what you say next, until you are completely streamlined and you know how to speak. I was like, oh, I love that. Because I was talking to his top earners. I was like saying, like, how does he start you in the business? Like, what do you guys do? And he's like, well, they said, well, he makes you watch this one thing 18 times, like how to prospect. And then you have to, and then he says, he goes with a list with you. He says, who's on your list? And you're like, okay, well, these people are on my list. And then he says, okay, tell me about this person. And then you tell him about that person. And he's like, okay, send this message. And then he's like, and then you say, well, this is what they said back. And then he goes, okay, well, send this message. And then you say, this is what they send back. Literally like that. He's involved in every single conversation when you're first getting started. And that's how I am. Have any of you guys done that with me? Drop me a 2 in the chats if you've been like sending me screenshots with your upline and like I've been like responding, like saying like, say this next, say this next, say this next. Has anyone done that? Okay. Grace has experienced that. Good. And Grace is also a wordsmith. She's also really, really, really good at like helping people say the right thing. Fine. Okay, good. Awesome. Yeah. So I want you to know not enough people are putting numbers in the comments, which means not enough people are utilizing my ability to help you. Okay. People are like, oh, she's so busy. I don't want to bother her. Well, like, you know what? I'm busy trying to make you money and help myself make money. And if you're not sending me screenshots, we're not making money, right? So don't be shy. Let's do this. Let's do this. I'm here for you. I love seeing your laughter, Laura. You're so cute. I can see you being like, okay. Okay, I'll send you my screenshots. Literally, like, I want that. I want to see your screenshots. I want to know what the conversations. Coco, you'll have to translate. I can use Google Translator for your Japanese. Yeah. So, all right. We have 10 more minutes before we go into actual prospecting, because this is what we do together. So the second hour of this call, we actually send out messages together. But in those first 10 days, the first thing I'm going to do on that onboarding call, just so you know, is I ask the person's vision. I find out their why, right? The very first thing we do in an onboarding call is go, what is your why? I'm going to ask you, what is it that motivates you and inspires you in your life? Because we're not just doing Purium for Purium. Yes, we are. We love Purium. We love to help people get healthy, but it's not the only reason we're doing this, right? We have dreams in our life. We need financial support to get to where we want to be, whether it's to create a retreat center or to feed my children or to send my kids to college, whatever it is that's important to you, right? So we got to get a hold of that why. And then then after I've had that vision call with you, then I'm going to give you steps. Don't ever give a person steps without getting to their why, or you miss everything. They will not do anything if you tell them what to do and they have not figured out, they have not connected it with their reason, with their purpose, with their why. It's just in hollow, empty. Get your why and your reach points in. Do this, do that. How many of you have told people to do this, do that, and they don't do it? Drop me a 3 in the comments if you've like given instruction to your downline and they don't do it. Right? Everyone should be putting a 3 because we all have done that, right? We've all like made that mistake. But as soon as you really help connect it to their why and keep bringing it back to their why, keep reminding them why they're doing this, they will take action. So that why is the first step in onboarding. And then we tell them about the fast start bonuses to connect that why with like, oh, this is what financially is going to support me to do the next step. Actually, this is actually part of my why. Doing these things is part of my why. Widen your reach. Share because you care. Interviews of people on the team. Doing the launch party in the first week. I always get people, as soon as they enroll, I'm like, okay, let's get your launch party started in 5 days. 5 days from now. What's the date on your calendar? 5 days from now, we're going to do a launch party for you. Right? 5 days from now, we're going to do a launch party for you. Okay. So, that launch party is your debut. It's your like introducing yourself to the world. Do you do 1 launch party or 2 or 3 or 4? How many launch parties do you do? Do you just stop at 1? No, you don't just stop at 1. People are like, I did my launch party, I'm done. No one came. 1 person came. That was just you getting started, you getting warmed up. That was your practice run. Then you're going to do another launch party the following week or the following week. And you can keep doing them. Cherie's now doing them every single week. That's determination to get to diamond this month. All right. Cherie's like a master enroller. So we got to get those launch parties on the books within the first 10 days because consultant period ends in 10 days. People only can get to consultant in their first 10 days for that $100 bonus. If you want to get that $100 bonus, we're going to have a launch party for you before the 10 days up so that make sure that you enroll at least 2 people, 2 or 3 people by the end of that 10 days so that you get that $100 bonus plus you get $70 to $100 per pack and then you've paid for your products within 10 days. That's the promise. That's what I really, 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 really like to do for this team, for all of you and your people, your new people. Okay, Tara Shea, you have your hand up. Did you want to say something?
Yeah, thanks. Hi. Yeah, it's nice. Let's see, go back to when I started. So what's the duplication video that other person was watching that you said you watched? And is that available and where do you find it?
What's the what video? I didn't understand what you said.
Duplication video?
Oh no, that's somebody else's company. I don't even know what that video is. For here,
Okay. I thought
for
you were
us,
talking about, yeah.
no, that's but let me answer that question anyway, because that's a good question because we do have our own. Okay. We do have our own. So
Okay.
I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen from my phone.
Can you put it in the chat or something?
No, just watch. It's you already know all this. So just pay attention.
Okay. Because that's
Okay, I'm muting you because I'm gonna take it from here. Okay. I need to make myself a co-host so I can actually share. Okay. So we're gonna go to Boards app. So this is our Team Alchemy boards. There's the BizOp replay. This one here that Grace and I did, that's got this amazing slideshow. This is going to teach you how to talk about the business, right? You can watch that a bunch of times and get really familiar with how to talk about the business and tell stories about the business. But the other one is any of these Q&A Saturday replays. This is a full-on connect call. So any one of these, you take the Hashimoto's one, right? You take any one of these replays. We've got Hashimoto's, we've got menopause, we've got multiple sclerosis, we've got eczema, we've got detox and nourish, we've got food and substance addiction, we've got Alzheimer's and dementia. We've even got one in Japanese. We've got Lyme and gout and fibromyalgia and chronic pain. Now, these are all different topics, but what do these all have in common, right? What they all have in common is it's the full-on same presentation every single time. We tell 3 stories. And then I go over the products and how to talk about the cost. I go over the cost in order that you're supposed to talk about the cost, right? And I even bring you to the website. Now, my experience is that when people just watch one of those videos, I can just send them one of those videos, either one. If I'm prospecting for the business, wait, did I share my screen? Oh, my screen's not sharing. Hang on a second. Because I have my spotlight. Hold on a second. I didn't have my screen going. My bad. Okay, now we do. All right. Okay. So here's a Team Alchemy resources app. I go into BizOp. There's only 2 places to get videos. Everything with the red flag is a video. The one that says Team Alchemy trainings, this is just for us, but this is for the public. This is for the public. This is for the public. So the Q&A Saturday replays, all these have the same thing in common. 3 stories of recovery, the products, and the price breakdown. Okay, so that's if you're leading with the health. If you're leading with the business, this is the one right here, where Grace and I go into a full on, you can see we do all these slides, we go all the way. This is going to teach you how to talk about the business. And we even talk about the products at the end. This is a full on conversation that even talks about the products, even shows before and after pictures. I mean, we go to town, this shows everything. This is the best presentation for both the products and the business. If you watch this 19 times, you will have the verbiage memorized on how to talk about anything. This is my version of what he did. Okay, this is our version of what he did. This is Grace and I did this. It's phenomenal. Grace shares about how she took 2 years off from the business and made $30,000 doing nothing. Okay, just taking a break from the business. She made $30,000 doing just literally not even working. That is a powerful testimony. I don't know if she actually says $30,000, but we all know that that's about how much she was earning while she was not working. Okay. So yeah. So this is my version of that. So these are where you can find our version of what he did, which was basically his own presentation. It's basically, he's you guys got to memorize the presentation, right? So it's like memorizing a Connect call. So these are all Connect calls. Now, the thing is, the Detox and Nourish, this is my favorite one with Heather right here. I'm going to put this at the top. Okay. I'm just going to go ahead and put this at the top because literally to me, and these Blossom ones are old. So I'm going to put them over here, but, wait, I'm having a hard time. There we go. Okay. This one right here at the top is the most generic. This just basically, I made this on purpose. This video was a purposeful tool. I wanted to create a tool that's very specifically, hang on a second. Sorry, just for the recording, I gotta do this. Okay. This particular video is generic, means it doesn't matter if anybody's sick or not. They're going to understand from this video why they need to detox because of all the pollutants in the world, because of all the glyphosate, because of how to stay young and healthy forever, basically. This is my favorite video right here for most people. So, because some people are I'm healthy, I'm good. I just want to detox. Well, good. Send them this video because this is all about why to detox and how to detox. And it gives you the full on presentation of the food, the superfoods and all the cost breakdown and everything. And And some of these, often I talk about how important it is to how we're looking for coaches. And we want, I think in this Alzheimer's video, I actually at the end, several of these at the end, I go, we're looking for coaches as well. If you're interested in being a wellness coach, you can join our team. Let us know if you're interested. Okay. So I leave it at that. So I also talk about the business opportunity at the end. Okay. I talk about how awesome it is to be part of this business. But this one is the most generic. Okay. So there's all these different topics here. Okay. Tarisha, you still have your hand up?
Yes, thank you for going over that.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to dive into um, elaborate. I know you mentioned, which I've heard before, the whole conceive, believe, and receive. But what is the underlining aspect of our, it's basically like manifesting from our self-concepts, what we think, feel, and believe about ourselves. So that's why some people can experience and then other people can't. So if it is conceive, it's from our imagination. It's having this ideal, like you said, that solution. You don't know how, but you have this vision in mind. Am I on the right track? And then believing, it's coming from this feel, the state of consciousness that we're embodying, like the identity, this feeling. And so the believing is believing, like what is, you can believe something and want to believe something, and then it also has got to be secure about how we believe about ourselves, that it's that we can. I'm wondering what you can add to this. And then receiving, well, what is the receiving mode? Gratitude, feeling that appreciation, that art of allowance, allowing it in, like you mentioned about some people being able to receive it, how to how people receive, like feeling that wish fulfilled state, that living in the end, being consistent, being faithful to the unseen. That's my understanding. So I'm wondering how we can add to that and your understanding of medium with that.
Thank you. So, go ahead and spotlight here. Thank you. Yes, we do have to have some belief in ourselves. Let's look at it more from this point of view. Let's say I want to manifest you have to look for like, where am I? Do I have two opposite? What do I have something that's working against my manifestation? Like if I became, this is kind of a big generic one, right? Let's say like, I want to be a famous actor, right? And I'm like, really, really, really like, I want to be a famous actor. I want it so much. And I'm doing everything I can and going to all the auditions and doing everything. But some part of me is like terrified of paparazzi. I'm terrified of having like the public view and the public eye and having people like hate me or like judge me or like come after me, and even I'm afraid of like, they might try to rob me or kill me. And if they know about me and if they see me, they may actually like hurt me. This might be something so deeply in me and underlying that's working against that manifestation, that's working against that coming to fruition, because I'm telling the universe I want this thing, and I'm also simultaneously on the inside telling them I don't want that. So I'm like, I have two opposing beliefs. Okay. It's very possible to have like two opposing beliefs, and that's where the work is like, what's underlying that? Where am I working against myself in my belief? Because I might have more than one belief acting at the same time. If I'm really successful, I might be so busy, I won't have time for life. If I succeed in this business, all my friends are going to hate me and be mad or jealous because I have something that they don't. If I succeed, people will judge me because it's a pyramid thing. I really, really, really want this to rock out, but you know, I don't want to, but me accepting money from others is bad. Me asking for money is bad. There's something wrong if I ask for money. I don't deserve it. It's materialistic, you know. I don't want to be greedy, you know. So it's like I want to help people, I want to earn income doing something that I love that's helping people, but I don't want to be greedy, you know. These are like, we can have all these different mixed wires, crossed wires that are like sending mixed signals, you know. So that's where the healing comes in. That's where like the personal development comes in. Where am I going to like heal my money wounds? Some people, they've been, their whole family's been poor their whole lives. And then if they get ahead, they're going to be the first person to graduate from college or the first person to make a lot of money. And like, how's that going to make their family feel? Inadequate? I mean, these are real things that people experience that are like contrary things. My family will be upset at me. My family will feel insecure. My family will feel like I'm better than them. So like, where can you find opposing beliefs in your life? I'm catching up in the comments. Just want you guys to know I see them. I see that. Thank you. You know, so yeah, how do we allow? We got to find the underlying belief, and this is where the transcovery comes in. So I'm just going to go ahead and share my screen with you and show you the transcovery. Okay. And I'm just going to go through it with you a little bit. I'm going to ask you a couple questions right here, right now. You guys can actually do some of this work right now. So I'm on my boards. So at the bottom, you'll see there's this little folder here. This is manifest and mindset with a nice little vacation icon there. Okay, manifest and mindset. I'm going to go into transcovery. These are the questions. So let me ask you the question. What do you truly desire? Don't look ahead. Don't even look at this yet. You can look at this later. You just know where it exists. But what do you truly desire? And if there was something blocking you from having that desired thing, what might it be? Go ahead and write this down. Go ahead and like write this down. What do you truly desire? If there was something blocking you from having that desired thing, what might it be? And if this block were a belief, what would it be? If this if this block were a belief, what might that belief be? And as you hold on to that activated feeling, go with whatever answer comes just by simply responding to the question. So if there was a need influencing this belief, what might it be? If there were a need influencing this belief, what might it be? If there were a need influencing this belief, what might it be? A need for love, a need for looking good, a need for recognition, a need for understanding. And could you let go of needing that thing? I'm not asking you to let go of it. I'm just saying, could you let go of needing that thing? And I'm just saying the needy energy behind that thing. Could you let go of the needy energy behind that thing? And it's yes or no. And if there was a deeper need driving the need for that first thing, what might it be? If there were a deeper need driving that first need, what might it be? And could you let go of needing that? The needy energy, could you let go of that need? Your answer can be yes or no. And if you couldn't have that need if you could not have that need met, how might that make you feel? And could you allow yourself to feel that feeling? Could you allow yourself to feel that feeling? That's the thing. We try to bypass the feelings and not move through it by allowing ourselves to actually feel the thing. Check and see if that's who you really are, that feeling. Whatever that feeling was, check and see if that's who you really are. Is that who you are, or is it just a feeling? And if that feeling was given a voice, what would it say? And if that feeling needed something from you right now, what would it be? Could you give it that? Whatever it needs, could you give it that? And if there was a truth that was beneficial for you to speak out loud right now, what might that be? If there was a truth that might be beneficial for you to speak out loud right now, what might that be? Could you relax into that truth? Could you trust in that truth? Could you embrace that truth? And if there was somebody you needed to be loved by, who might that be? Could you let go of needing to be loved by that person? The needy energy. Can you let go of the needy energy behind needing to be loved by that person? And if no matter what you did, you could not get that person's love, how might that make you feel? Allow yourself to feel that. How might that make you feel to not be loved by that person? If that feeling was given a voice, what might it say? And if that feeling needed something from you, what might it be? Could you give it that? Speaking of giving, could you give yourself some love and acceptance right now? Check and see if you can give yourself some love and acceptance right now. And affirm out loud while gently tapping on the collarbone area. I deeply and completely love and accept myself just as I am. I deeply and completely love and accept myself just as I am. I deeply and completely love and accept myself just as I am. Take a deep, slow breath. And on the exhale, make a sound. One more time, deep, slow breath. Exhale, sound. And one more time, inhale and exhale. You can come back and listen to this replay anytime you need to have a transcovery. Okay, come back to this when you get blocked, and we'll conclude there. Thank you all.